2024 was a year Alaska Airlines would rather forget. A series of operational disruptions shattered its reputation for reliability. Technology failures and a major safety scare left passengers stranded and frustrated. The airline, once known for friendly service, found itself in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Flights were canceled, delays piled up, and trust began to erode. The leadership faced mounting pressure to restore order and reassure the public. Social media buzzed with complaints as travelers missed family events and business meetings. The problems weren't isolated, they came in waves, compounding the chaos. Alaska Airlines realized that fixing technical issues alone wouldn't be enough. Winning back customer confidence became the new mission. Looking back from mid-2025, it's clear, 2024 was a turning point. The airline was forced to confront deep flaws in its systems and processes, but with crisis came opportunity, a chance to rebuild and emerge stronger. The journey was painful, but it set the stage for sweeping changes. Alaska Airlines' story in 2024 is one of crisis, but also of determination to recover. The question, could they truly regain the trust they'd lost? In September, Alaska's main hub in Seattle was paralyzed by a critical IT failure. A software glitch crashed the system that managed flight dispatch and gate assignments. Planes couldn't depart, and arriving flights had nowhere to park. Thousands of passengers were stranded, terminals filled with confusion and frustration. The outage affected check-in, boarding, crew scheduling, and aircraft routing. The digital backbone of the airline had snapped, exposing a major vulnerability. The outage lasted nearly a day, but the ripple effects lingered for days. Alaska promised a full review, but the worst was yet to come. Just as Alaska Airlines was recovering, disaster struck again in December. The core reservation system failed, right in the middle of the holiday rush. Check-in systems crashed, kiosks went dark, and lines grew longer. Passengers couldn't check in, agents struggled, and call centers were overwhelmed. The festive spirit turned to anger as families missed gatherings. The outage was different from September's, but just as devastating. Flights were delayed or canceled across all cities. The financial and reputational damage was enormous. Alaska's brand, once reliable, was now in crisis. The airline's next moves would determine its future. As if the IT failures weren't enough, a terrifying safety incident rocked Alaska Airlines in January. A Boeing 737 MAX 9 suffered a structural failure. Its door plug panel blew out mid-flight, leaving a gaping hole at 16,000 feet. Miraculously, no one was seriously hurt. But the incident sent shockwaves through the industry. The FAA grounded all similar MAX 9 aircraft, forcing Alaska to cancel hundreds of flights for weeks. The airline's reputation took another hit, even though the fault lay with Boeing's manufacturing. Passengers lost confidence, not just in Alaska's reliability, but in its commitment to safety. Bookings dropped as travelers chose other airlines. The financial impact was severe: lost revenue, compensation, and operational chaos. Employees faced immense stress dealing with angry customers and constant disruptions. The combination of the Boeing scare and repeated IT meltdowns created a crisis of confidence. Alaska's decades of trust were eroding fast. The airline was under intense scrutiny from regulators, media, and the public. Operational instability became the new normal. Crews and planes were constantly out of position. Even minor disruptions now triggered major headaches. 2024 became one of the toughest years in Alaska Airlines history. The airline's ability to recover depended on bold, decisive action. The pressure to restore safety and reliability was immense. Alaska Airlines had to prove it could change. Alaska Airlines knew it had to act fast to win back customers. The airline offered full refunds, rebooked passengers, and provided travel vouchers after the IT outages. For those stranded, Alaska tried to help with hotel and meal vouchers, though resources were stretched thin. Communication was a major focus: more frequent updates on the website, app, and increased call center staffing. Leadership, including the CEO, issued public apologies and acknowledged the failures. After the Boeing incident, Alaska cooperated fully with the FAA and Boeing, conducting rigorous inspections and enhancing oversight. Transparency about safety checks became a priority to reassure nervous passengers, but apologies and compensation weren't enough. The repeated failures pointed to deeper systemic issues. Alaska launched comprehensive reviews of its technology and operations, bringing in outside experts. The goal: identify vulnerabilities and build resilience. The airline committed to major investments in technology upgrades. These steps signaled a serious intent to fix what was broken. Alaska's recovery depended on more than words. It required real, visible change. The airline's future hinged on restoring trust, one flight at a time. Alaska's crisis drew comparisons to other airlines' meltdowns, like Southwest's 2022 collapse and British Airways' infamous IT failures. The lesson: airlines that communicate well, compensate fairly, and show a clear plan recover trust faster. Alaska's compensation and rebooking efforts matched industry standards, but the repeated failures made recovery harder. Critics argued Alaska should have acted faster after the first outage. In response, Alaska overhauled its IT infrastructure, investing in new software, hardware, and cybersecurity. The goal: build a more resilient digital foundation, not just patch old systems. Employee training was also ramped up, focusing on handling disruptions and improving customer service. Stronger partnerships with other airlines provided more options for stranded passengers. Rigorous testing of new technology became standard to prevent future glitches. Alaska's strategy was clear: prevent repeats, strengthen systems, and rebuild trust. The airline aimed to set a new standard for reliability. The stakes were high, but the path forward was mapped out. Alaska's recovery would be measured by actions, not promises. The industry was watching closely. Alaska Airlines' road to recovery is long, but the commitment is real. Massive investments in technology are underway, modernizing flight operations, reservations, and communication tools. The aim: a stable, reliable backbone that prevents future outages. Safety is front and center, with enhanced oversight of aircraft manufacturing and maintenance. Alaska is working closely with Boeing and the FAA, conducting detailed inspections and strengthening safety management. Every safe flight helps rebuild trust. Improving the customer experience is also key. Better communication, more empathetic service, and flexible rebooking. Frontline staff are receiving new training, and technology is being used to give passengers more control. Small daily improvements add up to a big shift in perception. Alaska's ability to overcome 2024's challenges depends on consistent action. The airline has acknowledged its failures and laid out a plan for a stronger future. The lessons learned were painful but necessary. If Alaska delivers on its promises, it can regain the trust it lost. The scars of 2024 will remain, but so will the determination to do better. Alaska Airlines is charting a new course, one built on safety, reliability, and renewed customer care.